Hello and welcome back to another video, and today, as you can see, a bale of silage needs to be put in. Now, we have been feeding them a couple of weeks now as I'm making this video, because there were silage bales here on front which are all used up now. We're now taking it out from the middle. We want to use all this line first, and then we have bales started down the field there along the ditch that once we use this line up here, I think we're planning on going down the field there and bringing up a couple of those other bales that were down there, which are bales that we got off grazing fields that the grass got too long for cattle to graze. So yeah. Now the thing with these bales are, this bale here is from our new contractor. It was baled on the silage field, so when we baled that, we mowed it one day and then the next day we baled it. It didn't really get much time to dry, but the weather wasn't going our way for that week, so we had to get the grass baled up as soon as we can. So those bales are quite wet and quite heavy, but once we have this opened and split and put in front of the cattle's head, I will show you what that looks like. And these bales that are stacked on top on the front line anyways are the bales the brother baled with our old contractor's gear from the field beside our silage field, which was another field that got the grass that got too long to graze, so he baled that up as well. The only difference is the bales that the brother baled has net inside. These bales down here, instead of the net, it has like a clear bit of film or plastic, similar to what the wrap is, but it's just in the same location wrapped around the bale as if the net was, except it's not the net at all. I don't know if you can see it here. You can see that's the bit of plastic there, and that can be thrown in with the actual bale, the actual wrap itself. It can be mixed together, that's okay. But with these ones, we'll have to separate the wrap from the netting as well. Anyways, I'll put the camera down somewhere and we'll tune up the 674, and we'll throw in two bales. So what we do is we just back in a bale here, we'll split it in half, and then we'll split it into quarters. One quarter will go there, the other quarter will go there, then a quarter there, a quarter there, and then with the second bale you have a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, and then we'll just scrape in any sort of gaps in between, which shouldn't be that many. But yeah, let's tune up the International and let's get a bale put in. Right, the two silage bales are put in. The bale splitter probably needs to be sharpened again. It was sharpened when the Wainlands were put in, because they were the first ones to be put into the slatted house. And it was sharpened when they were put in, before a bale was given to them. It was sharpened then, but it probably needs to be sharpened again. It doesn't stay sharp for too long. It wasn't slicing those silage bales as smooth and as good as I would have liked, but the silage is there now. And we do butt up when we cut the bale into its quarters, we do butt up the quarters, that quarter silage up as near as possible to the quarter of a silage that's behind it, if you know what I mean. So then the only gaps then that need to be filled is here, there, and probably over at that gate there and that gate there. They're the only ones that need to be graped with silage, which I'll do now in a minute. But yeah, this silage here is from our actual silage field. It was very wet. The tractor actually struggled to drive out from where the bales are, to swing around there and back in. I had my fucking work cut out there, because it was I had the wheel turned full lock and it wasn't steering, so I just split the brakes. Split the brake pedals on the International and just use the separate brakes to try and steer the tractor that way, and that worked better. But yeah, those bales extremely heavy, but that's what it looks like on camera. You can sort of feel the moisture in it when you squeeze it. If I just pick a chunk of it here for you, that's a nice chunk there, and I'll just twist it. Whether the camera is picking it up or not, you can see the moisture dripping down off it. So yeah, a lot of moisture in those bales. It's quite wet, but yeah. Then the bales at the front here are the ones that were the part of the grazing fields that the grass got too long, so we just decided to bale it. Those ones are way drier. You can see on the camera that it's that little bit more drier than the bales that we got off the silage field. If I pick a lump of this as well. And squeeze it. There's no moisture coming out of that like there was from the silage over here. So yeah, that silage is very wet. It was wet bringing them home, because we had the whole lot of weights cut on the tractor. I think there was like 10 weights on the front of the International bringing them bales home. And even the 6280, we were bringing that had the double bale handle on the back, and we chanced a bale on the front loader going over and back the road for a few loads. But we decided it was a bit too sketchy, and even getting the silage bale at the bottom of it's called the Fair Hill, because it's sort of a flat at the bottom, sort of hill, and then flat then on the sides. And we were picking up two bales on the back of the 6280 at the bottom of the hill, and we had to drive up the hill, because the gate to get out of the field is at the top of the hill. We were driving up the hill, and you could see the front wheels on the 6280 lifting ever so slightly. You could see them spinning because it was in four-wheel drive. So yeah, it wasn't lifting as high as the International just there, but it was just lifting it so high that the front wheels, because it was in four-wheel drive, started spinning, and it started tearing up the ground below it. But yeah, them ones are wet. But the cattle, the Wainlands and the cows seem to like the wetter bales, the ones that came off the silage field, more than the drier bales which came off the grazing fields. You can also see, looking at the front, the bale splitter tends to split the bale more better, and then when it reaches the back of the bale splitter, you can see there you have a lump of of silage there that just didn't break off or wasn't sliced right. And you can see it on this one as well. The back end of the bale, where the back of the bale splitter wasn't cutting it as good as the front. So yeah, that might something will have to be done with that bale splitter. It needs to be sharpened or something, because those bales were very messy being put in. Every time I tried to pick up a bale and pull forward, it was it was still connected to the bales beside it, and it was just pulling them along, and it wasn't really going as smooth as I would have liked. Anyways, enough of the talk, and I'll put the camera down again, and I'll start scraping in any of the patches that need a bit of silage, because those calves do need a bit of silage there. Well, they're technically alright, but I'll still scrape a small bit there. And yeah, they might need, it's a bit tight for them there, I'll scrape some silage there. And for that other heifer in there, scrape some silage there as well. So yeah, I'll put the camera down and I'll start scraping the silage. Alright, so they have their silage scraped to them, any gaps that needed filling, and the bales are put in. And just to make sure the drinkers are working okay, that one needs to be fixed. There's a leak in it somewhere and the bowl keeps filling up, so yeah. And I'll check the far side now in a minute. But yeah, that is going to be the end of today's video. If you liked it, please do give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my merch and the gate mate. The links to them will be down in the description. That is it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.